Hey guys, it's Shelly. I have gotten a couple requests about customer follow up and what I use for my customer tracking and follow up information and all that kind of stuff. So I do everything of mine in a binder and thought it was just easier to show you this way with how I use it. So first I want to start with this was not my original idea. I got this idea from another consultant that just I thought was a great idea. So I tried it and it has been the best follow-up method that has worked for me. So I've tried electronically, I've tried a couple other ways. It just didn't work for me, but this I have found has been a good method for me. So in my binder, I have a couple different sets of dividers in there. So the first set of dividers I have are going to be these chevron type printed ones are the ones that I have, and I've got different colors of them, and these are all my months of the year. So I have one for January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. I have one for every month of the year. So that's initially there's 12 sections within my folder, and those are the main ones. So then within each of the months, I have these folders, these pocket folders, and these are labeled as week 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 if there's 5 weeks in the month. So there's a couple things I'm going to change about mine that you may see different later on, and one of them is my tracking forms that I use. Jamberry just came out recently with customer tracking forms that has great ways of keeping track of customer information, and so I'm going to transition to those, but I haven't received them yet, but that's the route that I plan to go. So in the meantime, I have my customer tracking forms that I use, and it's just got their information, like their contact information, how they were referred to me by, their birthday, dates that they requested a sample, when the sample was mailed, follow-ups, and other orders and things that they've placed with me. So initially, the first thing that I would do is when I receive a new contact is I would give them a contact sheet and I would fill this out. So let's say that they placed an order at a party and they're a new customer from a party that I've done. So I want to do my 2 week, my 2 day, my 2 week, and my 2 month follow-ups for them. So what I would do is I would fill their information out. And then like right now we are in week 3 of July. So my week 3 is my first folder that's going to come up because we're in July and it's week 3. So that's my first one. So if I was doing a 2-day follow-up for this new customer person that I just got an order from, then I would fill it out and I would stick it in this week's folder because I want to follow up with them again this week in the 2-day follow-up. So that's where that is. For all of the other ones, when I'm working my follow-ups, so I kind of give myself a week time frame to get them done. I don't necessarily do it specific to the day, but more or less in that week. So when I'm doing my follow-ups for the week, everybody in this is either a 2-day, a 2-week, or a 2-month follow-up, and it would be noted within the sheet itself. So I would take my form out, I would do whatever follow-up is needed, and if I need to do a 2-week follow-up, then I'm going to go from week 3 to week 4 would be 1 week, and then we're going into July, and so I would go to week 1 of July, and that would be my 2-week follow-up. I'm going to stick that in this folder, and then when I get to this week, when it becomes on top, then it's going to get a follow-up again. If it's a 2-month follow-up, then I'm in week 3 of June, so I would go July, and then I would flip to August, and I would go to August week 3, and that would be my 2-month follow-up, and I would stick it in this one for my 2-month follow-up for that, and then I would do those follow-ups there. So everything in my current week is always on top. So as soon as week 3 is over, then I would take this out of my binder and I would flip it back to, it looks like I'm going through September right now, and I would put it under my week after the week number 2 that I have listed in September. and then week 4 would be on top, and I do that same thing. So these folders just constantly get rotated, and I always have 3 months or so, roughly 3 months of active filing folders that I'm doing as I rotate it. If it's a customer who I don't have to follow up with a ton, maybe it's a regular customer that likes to order occasionally, but I don't necessarily need to do my 2, 2, and 2 follow-up. Maybe they just want a new catalog when catalogs come out. Then once I follow up with them and do whatever I need to do on that follow-up, I will file them in whatever month the next catalog's coming out. So that way I know to send them a catalog and to touch base with them there and see how things are going. And so that's essentially how I do my customer follow-ups. I have notes on there as far as hosting and the last time they've hosted a party so that I can kind of note follow-ups along those lines as well if they might want to do another one. So lots of information that's on each sheet that my follow-ups kind of get based off of on what they need. But essentially that's my tracking method, is to have it in here, 12 months worth. Each month gets its own week, and then everything goes in that week. Once it's completed, it gets refiled into the next week, and I just go from there. So I hope that's been helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below or let me know, and I'm happy to help you out. Thanks. Have a good day.